Okay, now I know who the Steve in this relationship is and who's the Jason.
So I'm Valerie. I care for my mother and want to check on her.
Welcome to Then You Ruined It, a podcast where two friends who refuse to meet in real life give each other plenty of reasons to stick to that opinion.
I have a couple goals, a couple things that I really would like to have happen. I would like to capture crime on my phone, like police abusing power specifically. I want to capture that on my phone and stick it to the man. And I want to poop something amazing.
That's. I know you're going to edit out all the other ones that happened, but you have to keep that one in.
Thanks, phone. It's like I did that episode years ago where I talked, or not years ago, months ago, where I had to change the sound because it was the sound. My notification was the sound of a camera, and I was pooping, and I pooped, and it clicked, and it sounded like it took a picture of my turds. The day he left, I had a guy who was on my team that I was the manager of who got. We lost him in downsizing. And the very last day, he's like, oh, by the way, in this episode, you said you were sitting next to the CEO. But it was me! And that was like our last conversation. I'm like, dude, how did you sit on that for a year? I would have told me that right from the get-go. It's like, you took a picture of your poop. Tell me more.
I love dramatic villain reveals. It was me! Dun, 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 dun! Twirling his mustache.
Yeah, we need more of that in our lives.
I was the poop bandit.
We need more. He didn't steal my poop. He just observed me auditorily taking a picture of my biggest poop.
Okay, so aural notifications of poop apparently are a thing with you.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with it.
Bill and Ted.
No,
Bill and Ted excited about you pooping something great.
The thing is, that was the throwaway line of this whole intro. That had nothing to do with anything.
Well, when you put a music stinger with it, I'm sorry, but it turns into something bigger.
Sometimes you're just like, Jesus, take the podcast. Whatever happens, happens.
There you go. Guitar riff when I mention poop? Yes, please. I've got a podcast now.
All right. Anyway, so the other day, I'm in my office. I'm working. My wife's up in her office working. Out of the corner of my eye, I see flashing red lights. Don't really think anything of it. This is Christmas time. But I'm like, wait, there's no Christmas lights across the street. Look out the camera, and there's like a cop car going by very slowly with its light on. No siren, just the lights. Just kind of weird. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then right behind it, also driving very slow, also with just the lights on, another cop car. And my wife comes down. She's like, what's going on out there? I'm like, I don't know. We look up the street. There is probably, I'm not kidding, 15 emergency response vehicles lined up going down our road, super slow with their lights on, no sirens. Police, sheriff, fire department, everything. I'm like, oh, crap. There must be a major drug bust going on. And my wife's like, I'm going to tell the kids to stay inside. And I'm like, I'm going to go outside and see what I can see.
The equivalent of me going outside to look at the tornado. There's a drug bust going on. Somebody could get shot. I'm going out there.
Exactly. So I grab my phone because, this could be police saving people's lives, or it could be police brutality about to happen, and I need to be prepared for either. So I've got my phone. I'm walking down the thing, and they're still, I am walking as fast as some of these are. By now, most of them have gone past, and they're starting to turn. And my daughter is walking home from school. Well, first I see her friend. I see her friend walking by, and she's walking normal. And then I see my daughter, who's just Charlie Brown in it. Just so sad. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I want to go see what's happening, but Valerie won't let me. And Valerie is like, I need to check on my mom.
Damn it, Valerie.
Your mom's fine, Valerie. Come on. We're all going. So okay, now I know who the Steve in this relationship is and who's the Jason.
So I'm Valerie. I care for my mother and want to check on her. Damn it, we're going to watch a crime.
And Steve's want to see what's happening. So I'm walking down, they've turned. So I'm walking down the block and everyone, like, I can see there are people poking out of windows, poking out of doors, but everyone's staying inside. They're like, what's going on? I don't know. And so I'm going. I hear a girl on their porch yelling into her mom, Santa's coming back. And I'm like, wait, Santa's coming back? Are they busting an illegal Santa? Am I going to get to save Christmas? Now I've like put together this whole thing in my head where the police, this is a movie, there's real Santa, but the police think he's a crazy person and they're trying to arrest him so he doesn't steal a kid. But really that's his kid and he has to go take him to the North Pole. I've seen the Santa Claus. I've seen Miracle on 34th Street. This sort of stuff happens all the time. And sure enough, I look coming down the street. There is a truck with a Santa sleigh in the back and a full-blown Santa blowing bubbles at everyone. And I'm like, bye. But the cops are still going. Santa wasn't the target. It was an unrelated Santa. So I finally catch up to him because fire truck had tried to do too tight of a turn. I don't know what happened, but it was stuck. And this is when I realized, wait a second, that SWAT team vehicle, because there was a SWAT team vehicle that had, the guy up front on the gun, but the person up on top of the gun was like a middle-aged woman, which is not what you expect to see up on top of the SWAT machine with a gun. So as the fire department's trying to like figure out how to do a 3-point turn on a fire engine, which takes forever, I see one of my neighbors and she's like, it's actually my daughter's friend's parents and they're all from China. So we've gotten to know them pretty well. And we're kind of talking in Chinese because I don't want the fuzz hearing what I'm talking about. I'm like, do you know what's going on? And she's like, I don't. Let's figure it out. And we go and we see that there's a big old family camped out on the front lawn. And there is a 10-year-old kid having a birthday party. And all of these cops and fire trucks and SWAT vehicles are just doing a slow drive-by to wave at them. And that's it.
I think the police in your area need more to do.
Maybe? I mean, they let Santa get away, so they're obviously not doing their jobs.
So that's still your headcanon that Santa still has to be involved in this plot and not just that Santa came by to wish this young boy a happy birthday.
I would rather think that than that just you could call the county and be like, could you send every emergency vehicle past my kid's birthday party just to wave at him? Is that something we could arrange? Can we put the entire neighborhood on lockdown as people lock themselves in their rooms, afraid of what's going on around them? Because clearly a dangerous criminal is on the loose, and he's 10 and just got ice cream cake.
I mean, to be fair, ice cream cake is definitely like, 5-alarm worthy, I would say. Giving
the government the benefit of the doubt, which I don't like to do, I think the actual workers were somewhere else, and that's why the middle-aged woman was in the SWAT vehicle. They're just like, okay, we're going to put all the non-essentials in these cars and have them drive by. But being cynical, I think you can just pay the cops to drive by a birthday party and then go commit a crime on the other side of town and get away free.
I mean, that definitely sounds like the plot. That is how a heist thing gets going, is you find out when that's going to happen in whatever town. It's like, but that town also has, holds 50% of the country's gold. We've never told anybody this. It's a secret we don't want getting out. Somebody found out and they've taken it for all it's worth.
So we figured out how to bypass the alarm. We figured out how to get into the safe. But how do we keep the SWAT team from coming in and killing us? I know! My nephew's having a birthday in Everett.
You got Sue on the guns up there. Sue, you good? Oh no, Sue does not know how to operate this thing. No, Sue is visual only.
I do want to live in a world where the SWAT team is mostly middle-aged women.
I mean, hey, they can get it done. I'm not saying they can't.
They could breach and clear like the best of them.
There's a slip of the tongue. I thought you said preach and clear. I guess, yeah, if you're a fairly devout community, then yeah. Preaching and clearing.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said breach. I'm like, that is what I said, Jason. Do you not know what breach means?
No. Do what Karens do. Preach. I mean, that would piss me off because, like you said, there's so many situations these days where that is a serious situation and, like, what is going on? Like, I deserve to know, like, what active shooter situation is happening in my community and you haven't told us about. And to find out it's a little boy's birthday, that's totally okay, but I want to know, like, ahead of time. Like, you need to, like, hop on every available notification system we have tell us, like, me and my wife were out at dinner one night, and our kids were both at the church where they're taking care of the kids for the night. They do that for a night so we can then go out and Christmas shop or have dinner or whatever you want to do. And we're doing that, and like midway through dinner, we start getting texts from everybody we know, including people that are at the church with our children, asking, "Are your kids okay? Somebody in your community was just hit by a car." Because it was the night, like you're saying, it was Santa Claus night. They bring Santa Claus through the neighborhood on a fire truck, but so you can't miss this one. It's just a fire truck and like 2 cars before and after it, kind of parade style. And he stops at certain stops and sings and takes the lists from the kids and gives out cookies, and it's a wonderful time. But we were gone that night, so we didn't get to attend. And apparently some family that was either waiting after or before he came through, somebody else came tearing through the neighborhood and hit a little girl and in the hospital for several days. She's still recovering, and yeah, bad scene. But that's the kind of thing that I would expect something to be happening, not just like, oh yeah, it's Brad's birthday down the street. Okay, so why all the cop cars? Well, it's Brad's birthday.
I told you.
Yeah. Are you not listening? It was Brad.
You know he loves cops.
Yeah. I mean, that's
His birthday theme was domestic disturbances.
They even let him wear their body cams. There's something in today's climate that is so dark about that, about the kid being like, yeah, you get to get up there with Sue and man the guns. Isn't that cool, Brad? I'm going to get up here and gun down protesters one day. You'll see.
Yeah, I was very disappointed after this whole thing that it wasn't just all over Nextdoor. We have gotten off Nextdoor. It's stupid. It's the worst. But this is what it was meant for, was for people to talk about weird stuff that happens in their neighborhood. So we got back on. Not a peep. I shoveled a walk, and it was all over Nextdoor. People were like, what's this guy doing? Why is he shoveling everyone's walk? Like, because none of you know how to shovel walks. And my infirm mother-in-law is going to slip and die. So I shoveled the whole block, and it was all over Nextdoor. 15 cop cars and Sue on the guns. Not a peep. I'm so pissed.
That's a new Rage Against the Machine album. 15 cop cars and Sue on the guns. Shoveled the walk. How dare he? He did the whole block. Can you believe that?
No, they were very, very appreciative. Everyone's like, we should give him something. I'm like, yeah, you should have shoveled your walk.
How about you give me the present of giving a damn?
We have old Asian ladies who have to go on a walk 4 times a day.
If you happen to get a Ring cam, like on your doorbell or whatever, I think it just comes with the service. Like I think we pay a small fee for it monthly, but you basically get a neighborhood thing that you sign up for when you do that. And it's like Nextdoor, but it's much more local, so it's not as bad. It doesn't seem like people can't just post, somebody's walking up and down the block, ringing on doorbells at 2 a.m. It's like, no, they weren't. Nobody does that. What are you talking about? Somebody just did it to you because they hate you because they know you're racist or something. So I found that to be much more informative. And there was one night where it's Friday night. There's a football game at the local high school, and yet somebody screaming all about, what is all the lights and the noise? What's going on? It's Friday. Don't they know people are trying to enjoy the weekend? Like, dude, it's the high school football game. This happens on Fridays. Where have you been? Just to see I don't think there was a single person that was in their camp. It was just like, it's football, dumbass. That was fun to see that one get shut down. So in a similar way, the vehicular incident I mentioned, that was good to see. But I would hope that many emergency vehicles driving through with lights on, no sirens, which, like you said, that is like alarming. It's like, why are you doing that? I don't know of the protocol why you do that versus having the sirens on. So in this case, it was not to scare the shit out of Brad.
No, Brad wanted this. Brad was losing his mind.
I'm sure he's run around the yard like a caged pup.
Yeah. I think afterwards, my wife and I were talking about it, and my son's like, that doesn't seem right. Like, he was starting to get like that indignation, and we're like, everything you're feeling and thinking is right, But your mother and I have decided that that kid probably has got some kind of mental situation going on or cancer. And this was his make-a-wish. And you know what? Fine. If that's how he wants to blow his wish, that's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's likely, you know, it's the people that get on Twitter or whatever social media and say like, you know, my kid has this situation and, you know, nobody's gonna wish him a happy birthday. So if you get on here and wish him and then he gets like 20,000 comments of like, dude, have a happy birthday, man, I can't. And you get like one from George Takei. It's like, what the hell? Why'd he jump into my comments? Oh, okay. George Takei told my son happy birthday. This is a great birthday. It's like that. So there probably was something else going on. In that case, yes. More power to Brad. Enjoy your birthday.
Now, I saw Brad, and Brad looked fine. So this is internal. I am making the decision that he has cancer. I have nothing to base that on. I just am less mad at the world if he has cancer. So, or a congenital heart defect. It could be that.
You could be the checking on him car. Like, you know, there's several vehicles and you just wedge your way in there and you drive by. Hey, Brad, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Quick note, what you got going on there, fella? You know, for all these cars, it's a no situation. Just like cops. Okay, runs in the family. All right, well, you have a good day, man. Sorry about it.
Way to live life like a normal boy.
Yeah. I want to go back to my house. It's right there. 4 houses down from yours. Don't do anything mean. Sorry about assuming you had a mental defect or heart challenges. That's my preferred way to communicate with my neighbors is out my window as I drive by. Just in case it goes belly up. I could just tear away.
But you still tell them which house is yours.
Well, I mean, they know already. Yeah, it's a pretty close-knit community. So.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Then You Ruined It. If you enjoy our flavor of nonsense, please like and subscribe wherever you found us. And please share with your friends and cooler family members.